All right, once again, welcome everyone. So this is about crypto. So our coming interest group, our coordinators are Noel and Jessica. And this today we'll cover crypto 101. So as you can see, we'll touch on the 8 properties of crypto. The 3 main categories in this space are DeFi, decentralized finance, NFT, non-fungible tokens, and DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. And then for the remaining time, we will spy on some wallets, including mine. So that'll be quite fun. So a little bit about my background. Currently, I'm working with 3 companies. First one is the bridge. So it's a bridge that connects blockchains. The second one is a human node. Is regarding how do you prove that you are a human without revealing your sensitive data, like your biometrics. Third one is Aztec, is private payments. I'm also ambassador for a couple of companies. Just a fun fact. So the 3 companies I'm working for, 2 are actually Russian based. So like last week, during the meetings, quite crazy lah. So some of my colleagues, based in Ukraine, they'll hide in the basement. Those who are based in Russia, have to find ways to get out, things like that. Right, let's dive into it. So how do we describe this space, right? Usually we'll say cryptocurrency, or blockchain, or distributed ledger technology. But actually the umbrella term for this space is called Web3. So how is it different from Web 1 or Web 2? Web 1, we have, the back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago, we got, Yahoo, Netscape. Basically, you can only read the data. So it's very basic web page, HTML, static pages. And then we move on to Web 2. So all the social media, those kind of apps. And Web 3 is all about self-ownership. So you can own the data. So it's not like renting on the platform like Google or Facebook. It's actually self-ownership. So what's the thing that blockchain solve, right? Blockchain actually solve the issue of trust, because humans fundamentally don't trust each other. So blockchain is the intermediary. So it is the distributed immutable ledger of records and computers that can make commitments. So imagine, humans, we are not so good at making commitments, but every transaction that you do, every data that you put on the blockchain, it is forever. And then, so there's a saying that can't be evil over don't be evil. So I don't know whether Google changed its motto or slogan. It used to be don't be evil. That's the slogan of Google, right? So instead of don't be evil, you literally cannot be evil, because in this system, the state is managed not by a single identity, but it's more peer-to-peer. So everything's open, everything's transparent. Other popular sayings in crypto is don't trust, but verify. So later we'll show you some examples that everything is on the ledger, on the Explorer. So you never have to trust what people say. You can always verify that something actually happened. Not your keys, not your coin. Here it means that so a lot of people, their interaction with crypto is they buy it on the exchange, like Binance or Luno or some popular exchange, but you actually don't own the private key. So it's all on the centralized exchange. So you can think of the centralized exchange as a bank. And if you don't own the private key, it's not your coin. So if one day, like Binance, they decide to sanction, start regulation issue, don't allow Malaysians to transact, then you need to get your coins out. It's not you have self-ownership. Then another popular saying is bank the unbanked and you unbank the bank. So it's in a way, the Bitcoin network, the Ethereum network is the bank. So if you own assets on the network, it's like the bank. So a lot of people around the world, they don't have access to banks, like third world countries, Africa, so on. Those are the places that we see a lot of crypto adoption. And yeah, have fun staying poor is the phrase that crypto people like to tell the fiat people, traditional finance, have fun staying poor while we get rich. But we also say to ourselves, so like during bear markets, we say to each other, have fun staying poor because it's quite fun. So the thing about here is CZ is the founder and CEO of Binance. He's the richest man in crypto. His net worth, I think net worth is 100 billion. So he says this, like, if you can't hold, you can't be rich. Right, let's get to the meat of crypto. So these are the points that I gather throughout various resources. So the thing about crypto, the crypto in cryptocurrencies actually mean cryptography. So it's very self-sovereign because of this thing called private-public key pair. If you look at Wikipedia, this is the basis of what makes blockchain happen. So if you hold your own private key, and from your private key, you generate your public key, that is the whole thing that you own. And then, all the data, your assets are tied to it. So this is the foundation of it, just bear in mind. And then cryptocurrencies, because, it's basically internet money. So it's very international, censorship resistant. So let's look at the recent case, the issue about, Ukraine-Russia war. So this guy is the Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine. So a few days ago, he tweeted out soliciting donations on the blockchain. So he's accepting BTC on the Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum on the Ether blockchain, and this one is USDT, it's a stable coin on the Tron, TRC20. Yeah, it's a Tron blockchain. So just let's have a look at what's going on in on this address. So Etherscan is actually a Malaysian company. They're based in KL. So this site is actually index all the transactions. You can view all the data here. Yeah, this address used by Ukraine to accept crypto, verify the sources. So now a lot of transactions going in, a lot of transactions going out as well. So through this main account, they are actually channeling the funds to a lot of charity NGOs in Ukraine, supporting military and so on. Yeah, so if you see, it's very international. The third one is a very fast finality, right? So even though Bitcoin network is compared to some other chains is considered quite slow, it's about 10 minutes to settle, not exactly 10 minutes, but plus minus 10 minutes. So this thing is called mempool. Mempool is short form for memory pool. So every transaction that you submit to the Bitcoin network, your transaction will enter into this mempool, and then piling up all the transactions, and then so it's like a tractor, right? The tractor that digs the earth. So every 10 minutes, the miners will come and take a chomp of all the transactions. Usually they cannot take all of it. There will be some left behind. So it depending on the fees. If you pay a higher fee, you will get priority.
Cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, bro, cryptocurrencies. So as you can see, this is the Bitcoin blockchain. So almost every 10 minutes, they will be settled. But usually, for Bitcoin, we'll be more than one confirmation. We'll be maybe like 6 confirmations, so maybe 1 hour to be safer to consider it final. So let's say you want to transact international, send some money to UK or US or wherever. Usually, even though your credit card says it's settled, but it's not truly settled. But if you use crypto, it's really, literally the asset is settled and it cannot be rolled back. It's not a credit card, there's a chargeback or so on. The fourth one is very automated. So automated means that you can, within one transaction, you can have many transactions inside one transaction. So because it's very composable, you can, in the crypto space, there's many primitives that, a lot of financial new primitives that they are creating. Just one example is flash loan. So this is very, very cool concept. So Aave is a lending protocol. So it's like It's like a bank, so you can lend, get some interest, and other people can borrow. So this is a cool concept called flash loan. You can actually borrow millions of dollars, millions worth of crypto without any collateral. Crazy, right? You can borrow without any collateral. You can borrow millions of dollars, but what is the caveat? The caveat is you must return back the amount within the same block. So what people do is they bundle the transactions, so many transactions into one, and then they find arbitrage opportunities, right? So they go to this Aave, and then they see opportunity, they borrow millions of worth of crypto, and then they see, you know, where can arbitrage or which protocols, and then on the same block you borrow and you return back, and then, you know, obviously this Aave, they charge a fee for this service. So many of these kind of crazy experiments you can do in crypto. And then very large amount. So let's say you want to send $100 million worth of assets. How do you send it? You want to send, I don't know, by Go or, you know, some other method, but you can totally do it on the blockchain. So this is a bot called Whale Alert. Whale in crypto space refers to people who have high net worth, so transactions in 7-8 digits. So everything is transparent. You see, this person just transacted 168 million USD from Binance or unknown wallet. Okay, let's see, 168 million. How much do you think is the transaction fee? Okay, let's look at Ethereum one. Okay. So this person sent, okay, $38 million of crypto, right? Look at Etherscan. Transaction fee is $16. So you can transact, you know, with literally a fraction of a cost for millions of dollars. And you can also send very small amount. So I'll just do a demo. So let's say you want to send to somebody international payments, can you send, I don't know, can you send a fraction of 1 cent? You can totally do it. So I will do it on the test network. So let's say I want to send to this account. So 0.000000001. By the way, I don't have so much money, and this is on the test network. Okay, it's done. So let's view an explorer. Like I just send someone like, you know, literally a dust worth of sum. So you can totally send a very small amount, and then obviously very transparent because it's an open ledger, but it's also very private, right? Because you know, like the difference between physical and digital payments is physical cash is private by default. If you have $50, you don't know where the $50 came from. Nobody knows where the $50 go to. It's untraceable. But digital, you know, everything is traceable. But in the future, we will have private payments. So this is one of the companies I work with. Everything you do on Aztec is private by default. And now, how is it private at the same time? Just a small amount of data is still, you only review a small enough of data without revealing your identity because of zero knowledge. So this is the thing, a subset of cryptography, zero knowledge proof is basically how do you prove. So there are two parties, right? One party is the prover, the other party is the verifier. So the prover has to prove to the verifier that he knows something without telling him any additional information that he knows about something. So this is a very cool technology going on. Yeah. So properties of crypto. But we also have to address the elephant in the room, right? So whenever you talk about crypto, people say, oh, but what about hackers? Oh, what about scammers? Oh, money laundering? Oh, bad for the environment, electricity theft. First of all, relax. Okay, don't worry so much first. So if you want to own your own money, if let's say you own a bar of gold, you don't want to put in the gold safe somewhere. So obviously you have to take responsibility. You know, there's always a chance of getting hacked. People can break into your house, things like that. And then money laundering. Money laundering is the most is the thing that I hear the most, and it's the easiest thing to like counter. So the thing is same in fiat though. It happens in crypto, it happens in fiat as well. So bad for environment. People say bad for environment because, you know, Bitcoin proof of work, you know, boarding the ocean, blah blah blah. There's some point to it. There's some healthy skepticism about it, but also a lot of blockchains are moving to proof of stake. Even proof of work, we are using renewable energy, like El Salvador legalizes Bitcoin using volcano power to, you know, to generate the electricity for Bitcoin. And a lot of places in US using like renewable energy. So the thing about Bitcoin, for example, is the network is neutral, but obviously the actors, you don't, you know, you have to pay, you have to participate in a fair way. Don't steal electricity. That's wrong, right? But so this news just came out like yesterday, I think. TNB mentioned about this crypto mining in Malaysia, because Malaysia is like number 5 or 6 in the world in terms of Bitcoin mining. So the thing about Bitcoin mining in Malaysia is it is actually legal, but you know, just don't steal electricity. Have to be honest. So I think TNB just proposed a special tariff for Bitcoin mining operators. I'm not personally involved with Bitcoin mining, but you know, I know people that do. But that also, so this is the thing about new technology. Whenever there's new technology, there's always skepticism. Whenever there's first we have online dating, people are thinking, oh, are you sure you want to online dating? You know, what about people stalking you and things like that? You know, but now online dating is a norm. When first they are self-driving cars, you know, oh, are you sure the car, you know, accidents? Although there are a handful of accidents, but this is technology, so we need to embrace new technology. And also one thing to bear in mind is the future generations of kids would most likely first have a crypto wallet, then have a traditional bank account. So either we adopt crypto, or you know, we let the technology go pass us by. So it's all about, you know, self-sovereignty, freedom to participate in global economy, and so on. So obviously you can buy crypto, you know, on centralized exchange, Binance, Luno, all these places. But what do you actually need to be crypto native? Crypto native means you own the passport into Web3. You actually only need one thing, which is a non-custodian wallet. There are many types of non-custodian wallet. They are software based on browser extension, a desktop app, mobile app, or you can have hardware wallet. So the most popular software or browser based is MetaMask. So you can interact with all the Bitcoin blockchain. No, not Bitcoin, but Ethereum based, EVM based blockchain. Or you want a more secure one, is a hardware wallet. So the one I'm holding out right now, this is looks like a USB. It's a ledger. So the thing about this is your private keys never leave this hardware device. So it's more secure. And also you must consider whether the wallet is support only a single chain, like, you know, Ethereum, or it supports like many chains. So the non-custodian wallet have 3 functions. So it protects your private key, interface with different apps, and also perform a digital signature. So these are the 3 functions that the wallet does. And so the wallet will generate 3 things. And out of the 3 things, 2 things must be kept secret, which is the private key and the seed or recovery phrase or mnemonic. Yeah, a lot of things to Google, a lot of things to learn. Never mind. I'll break for Q&A soon. So first thing is the address. So this is like your email. You can totally send to people. This is how people transact. This is your public address. Your private key, it looks like this. Is a longer, hexadecimal string. This one you must totally keep secret. Copy paste in somewhere, your password manager or somewhere safe. And then you have the third thing is the seed or the recovery phrase or mnemonic is the human readable version of the private key. So if you want to back up this private key manually, right? How do you write it on a piece of paper? You literally cannot, because something will go wrong. You will miswrite some letter and then the whole thing it doesn't work. So that's why the Bitcoin developers, they develop this new algorithm that basically takes your private key and makes it into words. So you only write down words. It's from a dictionary of over 2,000 words. So it's a carefully selected word. So you write down the word. And then if you are good in memory, so this seed phrase, it can be 12 words or 24 words, something like that. If you have good memory, you memorize the 12 words in your head. You are a walking wallet. You are literally, you own the wallet in your head, right? I think I'll pause now for any questions. You can type it or you can ask. Okay, good question by Zaim. Yeah, regulation is one of the things that we see a lot, but I'm not so much focused on like policy and so on, so I can't really answer that well. So different countries have different regulations, right? Like for Southeast Asia, I think Singapore is more lax and more crypto friendly. That's why a lot of companies incorporate there. Malaysia, I think, for my observation, is a bit slow to engage in policy and so on. So if you talk about worldwide, the countries that are more crypto friendly, like France, Portugal, the smaller countries like Bermuda, Panama, these kind of places. Okay, good question. Okay, so how do we choose? Okay, so now this is my final slide already. So next, before we jump into the NFT, DeFi, NFT, and DAOs, let's briefly go through the top 20 coins. Top 20 coins in the whole crypto market right now. So let's look at okay. So CoinGecko is also a Malaysian company. You can be quite proud of it. So now the total market cap is 1.7 something. It used to be 3 during the peak. So now we are in the bear market. So let's briefly go through like maybe a top 20 coins. So the king is still Bitcoin. It has a narrative of digital gold. So you don't expect it to the behavior is more or less like gold. So it's quite scarce, only 21 million supply. So you just work out the mechanics. So by the year 2140, only will all the supply be emitted out. The second one is Ethereum. So yeah, it's more innovative. So that's why a lot of apps, a lot of protocols are developing on Ethereum. Whereas Bitcoin is more like it's fixed. It just does one job really well, very decentralized, very open, but very steady, but nothing much is going on. So Ethereum is the one. It's like a a lot of innovation going on in Ethereum. The third one is Tether. It's a stable coin. That's why you see the price it will always be $1 per USDT. But there's a many flavors of stable coins, we call it. So Tether is a more of a centralized stable coin, means that there's actually like a financial entity in the real world that is backing all these assets. And BNB is Binance. So Binance started as a centralized exchange, but now they have their own chain. So BNB is like the Ether of Ethereum. So the currency of Ethereum, the chain, is called Ether or ETH. And the currency of a BNB chain is BNB lah. So you need to own BNB to do some transaction on this chain. And then the fifth one is USDC. It's also like USDT, that is a stable coin. So it's $1 per USDC. No, unless they lose the peg for some reason. XRP or Ripple is another one. It's more for enterprise on this product. The second one is Terra, so or Luna. This is quite a new blockchain. So yeah, the founder is a Korean. Yeah, it's gaining a lot of adoption recently. Then the next one is Solana. Solana is also quite a new blockchain. They call it one of the Ethereum killers. So it's very different technology than Ethereum, but it's almost can head to head with Ethereum in terms of like the adoption and innovation. Cardano, basically nothing going on there, but I don't know why it's still such a popular currency. Avalanche is something like Ethereum as well. Can do many things. Polkadot is quite unique, as in it is not only one chain, it is a group of chains together. So we call it a para chain, so a lot of chains in this Polkadot ecosystem. Then Binance USD is Binance, they create their own version of stablecoin. So we also pegged to $1. Dogecoin, like, it's the original, Dogecoin. So there's a lot of Shiba Inu and all these kind of fancy Dogecoins around. It's a meme coin. So, people like to speculate, people like to have fun. So yeah, that serves the purpose there. Terra is the stable coin of this blockchain, number 7. So Terra also have its own stable coin. So Shiba Inu, another Dogecoin. Wrap BTC, Wrap Bitcoin is actually, so Bitcoin on Bitcoin blockchain is very limited. You cannot do much. You cannot lend. You cannot stake. You cannot do fancy things. So that's why people do a wrapper on Bitcoin, and then you can port it to another blockchain to do your financial activities. And then Chronos is it started like Binance, that is a centralized exchange by Crypto.com, and then eventually they create their own chain. Polygon is built on Ethereum, so we call a layer 2. So you can imagine Ethereum as a layer 1 blockchain, and then Polygon and other chains are layer 2. So the meaning of layer 2 is that it inherits the security of the layer 1. So it can do things faster, more innovation, because it has the security of the layer 1. But if Ethereum goes away, Polygon also goes away. So this is the meaning of layer 2. DAI. So DAI is quite cool because unlike Tether, USDT or USDC, DAI is also stablecoin, but it's decentralized, meaning that the collateral is mostly a decentralized asset like Ether and so on. It acts like a central bank. So DAI, the project behind it is called MakerDAO. And then Cosmos is something like Polkadot. Cosmos also is a hub of many blockchains together, and then you're able to bridge assets within each other. I will stop now for questions. Consolidation. So within blockchain also there are like M&A activities, so merger and acquisitions of chains. So they do happen, but not frequent. So I don't know what exactly goes on when M&A happens. So like sometimes the two chains merge into one, and then like the chain that is to be dissolved, maybe they port all the assets to the new chain, then yeah. Okay, let's move on to DeFi. So let's look at my wallet. So the thing about okay, so the reason I show my wallet, right, it's not to brag or anything, because there's really nothing to brag. This amount is really nothing. I just want to show, like, if you are new in the space, like someone you can relate, I'm quite new also. I just joined in 2018 in this space. So a lot of all the transaction is open, as you can say, blockchain is transparent. And yeah, maybe through my portfolio you can see some failures that you don't have to repeat. So Kavi asks various coins, various types of benefits, but ultimately, so behind each coin is a company. What is a company feels? Okay, so this, if you build a public blockchain, there will be a foundation or a company that's supporting the blockchain initially, but all the code is open source. So the meaning of open source is anyone is free to develop a version of that blockchain. Every developer is free to use the code and then deploy a new front end for the app. For example, there are many instances where like a decentralized exchange, like Uniswap, for example, like this thing here, Uniswap, is a decentralized exchange. It's not like Binance. It is an exchange where you no need any KYC, no need permission to make exchanges. So Uniswap, for example, there is a Uniswap Labs, which is the company that got regulated by US. I think like 1 or 2 years ago, that certain countries they cannot, you cannot allow the users from certain countries to use it based on the IP or something. But developers can spin off a new front end. So the protocol is always open source, always open, but the front end developed by the company, the entity, might have to, because they comply with the law. So yeah. So a few things happening here, right? So this is my this string of address is my is my address. And with one address, right, you not only can participate in the Ethereum blockchain, but also all these other blockchain, BSC, Gnosis, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Optimism, Celo, Moonriver, and so on. Why is that so? Because the OS, right, of Ethereum is the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So it's like Android, right? So you use Samsung, it's powered by Android. You use Huawei, powered by Android. Xiaomi, powered by Android. So the OS of Ethereum is used by other chains as well. So the other chains, they make a copy of it, they fork the chain, and then they slightly modify it, but because it's quite similar, so with one address from Ethereum, you can actually interact with all these other blockchain. But this address is not compatible with Bitcoin blockchain. So with Bitcoin, you have to use a separate address that is not EVM compatible. Okay, let me share an interesting thing that went on in my portfolio. So if you look at my wallet, the top, the one with the most value here is ENS. So ENS stands for Ethereum Name Service. You can think of it as a domain name. So if you are on Twitter, on other social media, you can see some people that have their name .eth, right? So like you go into scan, you can have, like, instead of telling people send money to, send funds to this address 0x38430336, very confusing. You can tell people to send to a human readable name. So if you like EdwardTay.ETH, right? EdwardTay.ETH. So this resolves to this address, which is the addresses now. Yeah. So that domain name is a ENS, Ethereum Name Service. So it's a domain name with special functions. So you can tie it, you can link it together with your address, crypto address. So you can tell people to just send to this, EdwardTay.ETH. So people can key in that name and the funds will go through. So what's interesting about this is, so I have almost 300 tokens of this ENS. But the funny thing is I didn't buy it. It was given to us freely through an airdrop. Have you heard of airdrops? So airdrop is something like an ICO or IPO kind of thing. So whenever a project launch a token, it wants to incentivize or reward the early users. So when I bought my domain name EdwardTay.ETH and thousands of people, when they bought their domain name, there is no ENS token yet. So because we are early believers in this project, we buy it without any expectation. These protocols will tend to reward the early users. So I got airdrop about 300 of these tokens. And the wild thing is that was like end of last year. At one point, now it's only worth like 4,000 over. At one point, it was 30,000 USD, so it's like 6-figure in ringgit. And yeah, should have sold then, right? But no, but we believe in the project, so we don't sell. But these are life-changing money. So why do I want to highlight this is because we have these kind of mechanisms in crypto where if you believe in the project, then like if you're early, you get rewarded. And then some people, once they got their ENS airdrop, people from like Africa or Middle East, they sold the tokens, and then they are very apologetic. They say, I'm sorry, I need to sell this token to support my family. This is life-changing money. They support their family for one whole year with this kind of airdrop money. So this is what crypto does for people. Are transactions between different currencies possible? Yes. So Noel asked the question is you have to use a bridge. Yeah. So if you are using your transfer assets, for example, Bitcoin to Ethereum, you have to use the bridge to wrap the Bitcoin. And then there are different mechanisms. So basically, it's like teleport a Bitcoin into another synthetic version of a Bitcoin to another chain. John asked, for a beginner, would you recommend creating one wallet or multiple wallets? So like, yeah, if you are in the space for a while, you can think of wallets, you can think of addresses as your email. So nobody just have one email, right? You have multiple emails for personal, for work, and so on. So, if you are in the space for a while, you will have you have more than one address on a chain. Like this is the EVM compatible address. You will have more of one of these. And then also you will participate in other blockchains on Bitcoin, for example. So you will have also other address on other chains. We have seen market dropping, but we safe haven. Okay. So like market dynamics is crypto is volatile. This is for sure. But yeah, this is we need to get prepared because these are market cycles. But I think right now, generally a lot of other asset classes are also down. But just to show you example that this is not the worst bear market that crypto has been in. Okay, so looking at Ethereum, right? So now we are quite down. It used to be 4.44K. Now it's dropped to quite a bit. Imagine you got in during January of 2018, 1.117, and then crashed more than 90% in the end of the year. So people, who got in early in this phase, they survive multiple cycles, bull bear, all this. So this is market dynamics. So you want to start in crypto, yeah, go for the ones that is tried and true. So back to CoinGecko. Of course, it's not financial advice, but I would say, still go for Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin, you cannot do much. You just hold or hodl. HODL is a misspelling of hold on to dear life. So basically, somebody was drunk and then he want to type HOLD, but he typed HODL. So hodl is like the meme. So you can buy and hold it, or you can also put it in some protocols that give you maybe like 5%, 8% return. You can do that, but there's certain risks. You must understand the risk. On Ethereum, you can do many things. So I would say start with these two chains first. Of course, there are also many legitimate ones, but just for starters, just focus on these two will be good. So okay, my wallet, this is my wallet to do all these assets, right? And then these are the protocols, or you can think it as basically like banks. So there are 5 activities you can do, main activities. There are 5 things you can do on the blockchain. You can stake, you can lend, you can pool, farm, and trade. So stake, lend, pool, farm, trade. So stake means a lot of blockchains now are proof of stake network. Means that instead of, so the way the miners produce the blocks is they have to put up a collateral of a minimum amount. Like for Ethereum, you have to put out 32 Ether to be able to produce the blocks on the blockchain. And also other people can delegate their Ether to you. And then, you keep the chain functioning, you get rewarded. So proof of stake, if you like for us, we don't run the infrastructure, we can take our funds, put it with the proof of stake networks, or those kind of networks, and then we get rewarded for a certain percentage APY per year. So you can stake on the proof of stake protocols. And number 2 is lend. So the world runs on credit, so there's always be lending and borrowing. You lend, you get an interest rate. Pool means liquidity provision. So you can think of a money changer. So let's say you are in the airport, it's a money changer. But the money changer, he has a short money, he don't have inventory. So you are providing your assets. So let's say you are providing 100 USD and also 100 USD equivalent of ringgit to the money changer. So I supply you the asset. So every trade that's going on, you get a small percentage, like 0.3% or something. So all these things is inside the liquidity pools. So usually the liquidity pools are in a pair. So you supply 2 assets of the same value. And then so people, when they go to decentralized exchanges, that's the mechanism behind it. So you put your assets as a liquidity provider or LP. And then farm is when there's a lot of pools. You need like some intelligence to see, okay, which pool is the most, can generate the highest return for me. So there's the yield farming. So after pool, you can farm. And then trade is like, trade all kinds of spot trading, derivative trading. You become Aku Along. So this example of EVM chain, which has many forks and many, okay. So another example is, let's say you participate in Solana. Solana is number 8. So this is a new chain. It's very new, so the technology is very nascent. There's no clone of it yet. There are also portfolio viewer like this on Solana. So like for example, Solana Watch. So these are the funds. You can see once you plug. So this site doesn't have my doesn't have my permission or anything. But once you put in your address into this site, because it's permissionless, it's open source, you just put the address inside, the API will automatically query all the funds you have, and then it come out in this portfolio. Everything's open. So this is what it means by, engaging in Web3 in a crypto native way. Okay, so that's DeFi. So we have now two things to briefly touch on. NFT actually is just a standard only. So NFT versus FT, also non-fungible. Non-fungible means everything is unique. Whereas like money, like I have a one ringgit note, you have a 1 ringgit note, but both for 1 ringgit note is the same. So that is a fungible item. Non-fungible means everything is unique. And it's just a standard. So many things can be NFTs, but now in the mainstream, we associate NFTs with a profile picture or an art. But actually domain names are NFT, like, metaverse, the virtual lands are NFT, just many things. Your position, if you are a liquidity provider in the decentralized exchange, your position is an NFT. So let's look at some top NFTs, right? Yeah, so this is my NFT collection. Like, so if you provide liquidity like this Uniswap, right? So yeah, your position in the decentralized exchange is an NFT itself. Okay, you can look at this NFT price floor. So NFT can be avatar, can be art, can be metaverse, can be derivatives. So right now, the top NFT is Bored Ape Yacht Club. So we look at for this kind of like avatar collectible, we look at the price floor, because like, let's say they have 10,000 in this collection. So everyone is priced differently, but the cheapest is like 71.88 ETH right now. But the most expensive can be 1,000, I don't know. So CryptoPunks, it used to be much earlier than Bored Apes, but Bored Apes, they flip CryptoPunks right now to be the most popular one. And then like, yeah. So you guys know about Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. This is Gary Vaynerchuk's own NFT collection. So VeeFriends, basically, if you own one of these items, you have access to his conference. It's like a token pass. You can get his books for cheap, or yeah. Okay, no questions. So the last one I'll touch about is DAO. So decentralized autonomous organizations are internet clubs. So if you hold a token, you are part of the DAO mostly. So if the chain or the protocols, okay, beside what's the next most promising use case? So NFT, it depends on what the mainstream, what the mainstream, they want. It seems like avatars and art are the thing that get the most traction. A lot of celebrities, Justin Bieber, or this kind of famous people are launching their own NFT collection, like limited edition of a song or a video, or some creator item, and then you can only buy my creator item as an NFT. So that seemed to be gaining the mainstream adoption. Of course, like people like me, quite into domain names, or if you are a domain name collector, you can buy the ENS, or like metaverse. Yeah, there's like virtual lands. You can buy like buildings or land in the metaverse, but assuming, I don't know, metaverse is quite new for now. So assuming a lot of people want to participate in the metaverse, then it will make sense. Not now you buy the virtual land, nobody use it. So then so games are also a kind of NFT, the in-game items. So let's say you are a multiplayer game, you need to buy a sword, a shield, to defeat a monster. So the inventory, your armor, your sword, your shield, all these kind of things are NFT. Yeah, NFT gaming. So Axie Infinity is the project that is quite popular in Philippines. So when they launch it, so Philippines is a country that not many like opportunities for the teenagers. So they launch it in Philippines, and they basically, first of all, you have to buy the NFT for, you have to buy like 3 items, I think for a few $100. But then they have like a tier system, so they call it scholars. So you can like sponsor a gamer to play, and then the earnings, you can take a cut of the earnings. But then the gamer, instead of stay at home in Philippines doing nothing, then they can play the game and earn. So they call it a GameFi. So instead of DeFi, decentralized finance, this is a gaming finance, so GameFi. But one might argue that people play game for gaming sake, not to earn money. So a lot of these projects actually a lot of projects don't have a short lifespan of adoption, But all these things are still in experiment. But if I'm not a gamer, but if you talk about, I don't know, World of Warcraft or all these kind of games, last time it used to have an economy, an underground economy where you can trade all the game items like offline, right? But now everything just become more explicit. Like the financialization is built inside the game itself. Can want to launch their own DAO. I was thinking a little bit about that, but unless really you have the passion to do it. There are some groups of people, they have launched their own DAO. Like for example, if you are in the startup scene, Y Combinator, like all the popular startups like Dropbox, Airbnb, all go through Y Combinator. So Y Combinator alumni, they create their own DAO, but they don't use Y Combinator. They call it Orange DAO. So because Y Combinator is orange, the color, call it Orange DAO. So I don't know if Cam want to create a DAO. Obviously you can. Maybe you don't use Chevening, you use some kind of word, and then like study quite loose at first, see who want to participate. If I have 10K, of course, obviously not financial advice, but I would say either in the go for the safer coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, especially now bear market. So definitely you are buying at the low point, it will go up soon. If you want to break down 10K into maybe take a little bit of money into speculate, then you can speculate on like low cap coins that you do your own research. You want to buy some NFT. If you are like art collector, if you're interested in art, like I'm not into art. So if you are always into art, you can look into NFT as well. Need to decipher the word chevening. Okay, DAOs. I need to show a little bit of what DAO is about. So so the a community, a club of token holders, but not all token holders belong to a DAO. It has to have the framework for people to make proposal, for people to vote, challenge the vote, and so on. Like Ethereum, you hold Ether, but Ethereum is not a DAO yet. But certain chains are a DAO. So, like for example, this snapshot is a the aggregator for all these block protocols or dApps that you can participate. If you are a token holder, you can vote for proposals. Like okay, this is the active proposal. Okay, you want to support for this, then you can connect your wallet and then cast your vote, yes or no. So certain votes are off chain, mean it's not registered on chain, but certain votes are on chain, so everything can be verified. So it's a more democratic way to function. So NFT is so first of all, is again you have to have your non custodian wallet. Actually, you don't necessarily have to have a non custodian wallet. There are other apps. I think VV. EV NFT. Yeah, I think this is an example of one of the popular one. Is a mobile app that works together with I think Marvel or these kind of creators that probably is still centralized. I'm not sure. I didn't really use it, but yeah, you can do it the centralized way or decentralized way to set up account first. Then you can use all this platform. Or yeah. So in the NFT marketplace, the most famous one is called OpenSea. So this is the like you can buy and sell NFT on this marketplace. So this is my account as usual. Yeah, so I've quite a number of NFT, but the thing is all this one I don't buy it. I participate in some activity and then they basically like earn it lah. Yeah. So yeah, OpenSea is the one to check out. And then Malaysia have their own version of OpenSea also. It's called Pentas. I never really tried before. Pentas.io. This Malaysia own version. Oh yeah, I have a little podcast. It used to be more frequent, but now whenever I have time, I do it. So it's yeah, I think either to me podcast is like the easiest way to kind of build a bit of reputation or to learn quickly is to just start your own podcast. It's like instead of writing a blog or video, podcast is so much easy. No need to turn on the video, just chat with somebody, and then there you go. You already produce an episode. So you can yeah, just I mean, if you are a podcast listener, they can check it out. So yeah, there's many ways to create the art. Yeah, I think you can even create here also. I never actually created any on this one. There's a lot of ways. There's the one like Mintable app. Like there are many of these kind of apps where you can just basically just upload your art, and then it will convert to NFT. I think like Adobe, Photoshop, or that will also integrate NFT somewhere in the future. So it's you can directly link it to the blockchain and then trade and so on. So once again, thank you everyone for your attention. I hope I deliver some value to you all.